Welcome, dairy enthusiasts, to another exciting episode of the Bovine Podcast. I'm Bella, and with me is my co-host Douglas. In our 179th episode, we're diving into an incredible story of Holstein excellence that spans 7 generations.
That's right, Bella. We're exploring the legacy of Altona Lea Holsteins, a family operation that's been breeding history since 1837. From 10-generation excellent cows to global genetics and community impact, this is a story you won't want to miss.
Let's start by painting a picture for our listeners. Imagine stepping into the warm barn at Altona Lea, where the sweet scent of hay mingles with the gentle sounds of contented cows. It's more than just a dairy operation. It's a family sanctuary where love, dedication, and passion have created something truly special.
Absolutely, Bella. The Barkey and Puterbough families have woven together a tapestry that enriches not just their lives, but the entire Canadian dairy community. Let's dive into their remarkable journey.
First, let's look at some key statistics about Altona Lea Holsteins. They're located in Blackstock, Ontario, with 60 milking cows. Their land base includes 350 owned acres and 1,000 rented acres. The herd classification is impressive, with 12 multiple excellent, 8 excellent, 35 very good, and 13 good plus cows.
Those are some stellar numbers, Bella, and their production stats are equally impressive. The herd averages 11,158 kilograms of milk, 498 kilograms of fat, and 365 kilograms of protein annually. Their breed class average scores are 260 for milk, 303 for fat, and 265 for protein.
They're clearly doing something right, Douglas. Now let's talk about their feeding system. They use a total mixed ration, or TMR, with baleage, corn silage, and ground corn. They also have a grazing program, with cows having pasture access for 5 months each year.
That's a great balance of modern feeding techniques and traditional grazing. Now, Bella, let's delve into the history of this remarkable operation.
Absolutely, Douglas. The Altona Lea story begins in the early 1800s when the Barkey family made the journey from Pennsylvania to Ontario. They were seeking a better life and carried with them a vision of building a lasting agricultural legacy.
And what a legacy it's become. In 1837, they acquired their first farm in Altona, Ontario. Through generations of hard work and dedication, they laid the foundation for what would become one of Canada's most respected Holstein breeding programs.
But it wasn't always smooth sailing, was it, Douglas?
You're right, Bella. In 1972, Frank and Donna Barkey faced a significant challenge. The federal government expropriated their beloved family farm as part of a proposed airport project northeast of Toronto. It must have seemed like an insurmountable obstacle at the time.
But as we often see in agriculture, adversity can lead to opportunity. Frank and Donna chose to see this challenge as a chance for a fresh start. In 1978, they purchased a new farm near Blackstock, Ontario.
That's right, Bella. And while the buildings needed work and establishing a new operation wasn't easy, their determination never wavered. Even today, you can see the fruits of their labor in the roses and clematis that Donna and Frank planted around the farm, living testaments to their pride and vision for the future.
It's a beautiful example of the resilience we see so often in farming families, isn't it, Douglas? Now let's talk about the current generation running Altona Lea Holsteins.
Absolutely, Bella. Today, the farm is managed by Glenn Barkey, his wife Karen, Glenn's sister Carolyn, and her husband Fraser Puterbough. Each brings their own expertise to the operation.
Glenn leads the breeding program, drawing on wisdom passed down from his father Frank. He's both a Holstein Canada judge and an East Gen director. Karen manages the books and is involved with several agricultural organizations in the community.
Carolyn works full-time off the farm but brings her skills in event planning and public relations to the operation. Fraser's expertise is in crop management, ensuring their 1,350 acres produce quality feed for their exceptional herd.
It's truly a family affair, isn't it, Douglas? And speaking of family, we can't talk about Altona Lea without mentioning their foundation cow, Harriett. Can you tell us more about her?
Absolutely, Bella. Altona Lea Starlite Harriett EX-9 star was born in 1971. She was the result of a practical decision by Frank Barkey to use Roybrook Starlite semen instead of the more expensive Roybrook Telstar.
Sometimes the best decisions are the practical ones, aren't they? What made Harriet so special?
Well, Bella, Harriet's achievements were extraordinary for her time. She produced an astounding 95,530 kilograms of milk at 3.9% fat in her lifetime. She became the farm's first excellent cow in 1977.
Those are impressive numbers, Douglas. But I understand her impact goes far beyond her own production.
You're absolutely right, Bella. Today, 95% of Altona Lea's herd traces back to Harriet. Her genetic excellence culminated in two historic achievements. In December 2021, her descendant Altona Lea Classic Jazz EX-9 2E became Canada's first homebred 10-generation excellent cow.
That's an incredible achievement. And I believe there's more, isn't there?
Indeed, Bella. Less than a year later, in November 2022, another of Harriet's descendants, Altona Lea Cinderdor Glitz EX-91, became Canada's second 10-generation excellent cow.
Two 10-generation excellent cows in less than a year. That's a testament to the power of careful breeding decisions and the impact of a truly remarkable foundation cow.
Absolutely, Bella. And the story doesn't end there. Both Jazz and Glitz have very good daughters who could potentially become the first 11th generation excellent cows in history.
That's exciting, Douglas. It really shows the long-term impact of good breeding decisions. Now let's talk about Altona Lea's show ring achievements. I understand they've had some impressive results.
They certainly have, Bella. Their current star is Altona Lea Unix Herminie EX-95. She started as Cooper-Puterbough's 4-H calf and has gone on to achieve remarkable success.
Tell us more about Herminie's achievements, Douglas.
Well, in 2024, Herminie did something no cow had done before. She captured back-to-back Grand Champion titles at the Ontario Summer Holstein Show. In her 2023 show season, she achieved All-Ontario, Reserve All-Canadian, and Honorable Mention All-American 4-year-old honors.
Those are some impressive accolades, and I believe the success continues with Herminie's daughter.
That's right, Bella. Altona Lea Doc Helena VG, 86 2-year-old, was Reed Barkey's 4-H project. She's already made her mark, claiming intermediate champion at the Atlantic Dairy Championship Show and first place spring 2-year-old at Ontario Spring Discovery 2023.
It's clear that Altona Lea has a knack for breeding show-stopping cattle, but their influence extends beyond Canadian borders, doesn't it, Douglas?
Absolutely, Bella. Altona Lea's genetics have made significant waves across the Atlantic, particularly in the United Kingdom.
Can you give us some examples of their international impact?
Certainly, Bella. One of their most impressive achievements is breeding 3 grand champions at the Royal Highland Show in Scotland within a decade. These were Altona Lea Broker Emma, Altona Lea Thread Amethyst, and Altona Lea Rudolph Summer.
That's quite a feat, especially considering the Royal Highland Show is one of the UK's premier agricultural events.
Indeed it is, Bella. And among their most celebrated exports is Altona Lea Broker MEX96 UK 9-star. She didn't just excel in the show ring, she became a living legend in British Holstein circles.
I've heard about Emma. Didn't her owner do something special to commemorate her impact?
He did, Bella. Emma's impact on her owner, Alistair Laird, was so profound that he commissioned a permanent tribute, immortalizing her image in a stained glass door in his home.
That's a beautiful testament to Emma's impact. Now, Douglas, let's talk about how Altona Lea is nurturing the next generation of dairy leaders.
This is one of the most inspiring aspects of Altona Lea's story, Bella. They have 7 young men who are carrying on the legacy of excellence with the same passion that fueled their grandparents decades ago.
Can you tell us more about these young men and their achievements?
Absolutely, Bella. Cameron Barkey, at 23, has already established himself as a force in the show ring. He was part of the Ontario 4-H judging team at the World Dairy Expo in 2023. His brother Grant, 20, shares this competitive spirit and recently won coveted embryos at the TD Canadian 4-H Dairy Classic.
That's impressive, Douglas. What about the younger members of the family?
Well, Ian, 17, and Reed, 15, are already showing remarkable promise in herd management. Reed's 4-H calf, Altona Lea Doc Helena, became intermediate champion at the Atlantic Dairy Championship Show. The Puterbough boys are also making their mark. Cooper, 18, worked with Altona Lea Unix Herminie, who became a two-time grand champion at the Ontario Summer Show.
It's clear that the future of Altona Lea is in good hands, but their impact goes beyond just their own family, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Bella. For 37 consecutive years, Altona Lea has provided calves to the TD Canadian 4-H Dairy Classic, helping shape over 300 young minds annually.
That's an incredible commitment to nurturing the next generation of dairy farmers. Now, Douglas, let's talk about Altona Lea's plans for the future.
Well, Bella, they're not resting on their laurels. Glenn Barkey has spoken about their plans to build a new barn that will improve cow care and make their operation more efficient.
That sounds exciting, Douglas, and I understand their location gives them some unique opportunities.
That's right, Bella. Altona Lea is strategically located just 40 minutes from Toronto, which opens up exciting possibilities for innovation. They're looking at following the successful model of Glenn and Carolyn's sister Sharon at Enniskillen Jerseys and Sargent Family Dairy.
It's clear that Altona Lea is always looking to the future while honoring their past. As we wrap up, Douglas, what would you say are the key takeaways from Altona Lea's story?
Well, Bella, I think there are several important points. First, their generational legacy. 7 generations of the Barkey and Puterbough families have built this Holstein dynasty since 1837, overcoming challenges like land expropriation to breed Canada's first 10-generation excellent cows.
That's truly remarkable, Douglas. What else stands out to you?
Their foundation genetics are incredibly impressive. The fact that 95% of their herd traces back to Harriett, born in 1971, shows the power of a great foundation cow. And of course, their global impact can't be overstated, with 3 Royal Highland Show Grand Champions in the UK and genetics exported worldwide.
Those are all excellent points, Douglas. And we can't forget their commitment to community stewardship, with their 37-year streak of 4-H mentorship.
Absolutely, Bella. And finally, their accolades speak for themselves. 4 Master Breeder Shields, 12 excellent and 8 multiple excellent cows, and a herd average of 11,158 kilograms of milk per year.
Thank you, Douglas, for helping us explore the incredible story of Altona Lea Holsteins. To our listeners, we hope you've been inspired by this tale of dedication, excellence, and family unity in the dairy industry.
Indeed, Bella. Altona Lea's story shows us that with vision, hard work, and a commitment to excellence, a family farm can have a truly global impact. It's a testament to the power of great genetics, careful management, and a passion for dairy farming.
That's absolutely right, Douglas. And to our listeners, we encourage you to take inspiration from the Altona Lea story. Whether you're running a dairy farm, breeding cattle, or just passionate about agriculture, there's something we can all learn from their commitment to excellence and community.
And remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Bullvine podcast and leave us a review. Your support helps us continue to bring you these inspiring stories from the world of dairy farming.
That's all for today's episode. Until next time, keep breeding for excellence and building your own legacy in the dairy industry. This is Bella.
And Douglas signing off from the Bullvine podcast. Thanks for listening.